Mr. Studio.
Hi, my name is Henry, and today I'll be telling you a story called The Phoenix Knight. I hope you enjoy it and learn something new. Let's begin.
A world different from ours, where magic is in every creature and power is in every heart. There is a kingdom called the Marines. They suffered a great deal because of the war. King Horam left his royals in charge while he defended his kingdom. To keep his kingdom safe, the commoners were to pay their taxes and coins and magic, which was stored in the king's royal chest, kept under the castle, surrounded by the 4 royal knights, who could only be instructed by the king. The magic pool they guarded was used to restore the magical capacity of the knights and soldiers who went to battle. There were always those who felt they could put the magic to better use. They desired to be custodians of the power with their greedy hearts, for as our King Horam has ever known, and the magic pool was a tool in protecting the kingdom until peace came. Guarding it was his role to play until his son was ready to be king. And to think that all this war between the kingdoms that surrounded the forbidden mountain of Tale Rock was for an ancient power that is guarded by the Phoenix. All 6 kingdoms craved this power for themselves, but in the last 300 years no kingdom has gotten it to this day, until these 2 conditions have been met: that the man who wants it had to prove the might of spirit through his heart of selfless love. The price of failure was to be burnt to ashes by the Phoenix creature above. Richard is a poor boy living in the slums of Merrick with his aunt Emily, who is a widow, after losing his mother to the plague when he was 4, and his father in battle when he was 6. Aunt Emily, fond of him and kind to him, was working long hours for their simple needs, leaving young Richard alone and lonely. So he decided to go to the square, watching the knights training, combining their sport play with magic. Richard, more than anything, wants to be a knight, like his father was, be strong and be the top of the town. Only wishing his dad was alive to teach him how, he imagined. Then at a distance, he saw a man who had a cloak on his head. He was speaking to some boys. He was also pointing towards the forbidden mountain, and when he finished, he vanished into thin air. The boys were debating among themselves, and out of curiosity, Richard was listening to them. They were arguing about getting a feather from the phoenix, and if they were successful, they would be made into pages to be trained as knights. But one became afraid. Why us? 2 began to doubt. No such creature exists. And the others made excuses. Our parents won't let us. Then Richard said, I'll go. They became silent, turning round to face Richard, staring at him from top to bottom. They were small and his clothes were more patched and dirty. Then all theirs put together, they began whispering among themselves and agreeing to let him get the feather for them. In return, they would make him part of their team. He ran home, got his favorite and only toy, a carving of a knight, and some rope, and when he got to the mountain, he started climbing with determination. On entering the cave, light barely shone through, making the cave dark. Walking in so deep, with no light or sense of direction, 2 silver bright lights moving together started circling around him. As the lights dimmed, its body began glowing, illuminating the cave. Richard could clearly see the phoenix with its golden feathers, luster red legs, with claws and silver eyes, standing on all 4s at 2 times the height of a man. Then it spoke in a feminine voice. I have seen your heart. You are not worthy of this power. Leave now. Richard was enchanted by its beauty and voice. Then he responded timidly. I did not come for power, he said with a smile. Phoenix sitting down, hiding her amusement asked, "Young one, why are you here?" With optimism in his eyes, Richard replied boldly, "I need your feather to become a knight." Shocking to hear, she responded sarcastically, "Is that what you came for? A feather?" In her eyes, she saw no malicious intent, and no human had ever done this in her lifetime of 345 years of guarding power. After selecting a feather from my side, she gave it to him, but Richard didn't leave. Instead, he brings out his favorite toy and lays it at her feet. Perplexed by the gesture, she asked him to take it back. But Richard wouldn't. To him, it wasn't fair to get something for nothing. She tried to return it, but he kept on insisting until she agreed. The next day, he ran to where he had found the boys with eagerness to show off his achievement. But soon as he brought it out, what came next he did not expect. A blow to the stomach. As he writhed in pain on the ground, they beat him up and took the feather. They weren't going to share a victory with a nobody like him. They took the feather to the man. He was the king's royal wizard, Malazar. He looked at it with glee. If he was careful, he could create his staff in a few years. Malazar decided to fulfill his promise by making the boys pages. This made them the talk of the town. Their parents were proud of them, and the boys were enjoying every bit of fame. Richard was so sad he began crying in his room with no one to talk to. He decided to talk to the one person who might listen to him. He decided that person was a phoenix. He went back. She had seen all that had happened. She felt compassionate towards him, listening to all he had to say, till he slept on her wings. When he woke up, she had made up her mind to help him, so she offered him a choice.
I will teach you a magic spell for your revenge, but you'll never see me again, or I will give you wealth you can use to pay your way into knighthood. What choose you, Richard? Richard sat and thought about it for a really long time before giving an answer.
More than anything, I would really love for you to be my friend, and also I would love to know how to defend myself,
said Richard.
She nodded, approving this. Then,
years had passed by, and Richard had come to know the phoenix by her name, Sabrina. They had become good friends over the years.
Richard was growing up to be a fine young man. With his strength